This is the NSPN Prep Update, a weekly look at scores, highlights, and stories from across the state. We go to the NSPN studios. Here's your host, Ryan Phelps.
Hello and welcome to the NSPN Prep Update for November 3rd. It's officially state tourney time. We'll recap the soccer championships and look ahead to state football and volleyball. In fact, we'll start on the gridiron and a recap of the Halloween Day section finals.
Edina versus Forest Lake, and the hometown Rangers were full of tricks in overtime. Down one and they try for two and the win. The reverse flea flicker looks good, but the pass back to quarterback Connor Johnson is off the mark. Edina holds on to knock off top-seeded Forest Lake 31-30. Moorhead versus Woodbury, not quite a record. We saw Andover and Anoka combine for 123 points earlier in the year, but a high-scoring game indeed. Moorhead's Jet Feeney with one of his 5 touchdowns on the night, this time 70 yards to Zach Walker, and Moorhead outlasts Woodbury 64-48 to move on to state. Spring Lake Park versus Buffalo. Nolan Roach and Lamari Brown execute a neat handoff delayed run to score an 18-yard touchdown to expand the lead. Panthers win 45-16 to win the 6-5A title. They're off to the next round. Minneapolis North versus St. Croix Lutheran, another high-scoring affair. Polar QB Logan Lockermeyer flushed out of the pocket, launches a pass to the near sideline, caught by Corday Williams, who does the rest. A 52-yard touchdown gives North the lead for good. Polars win this one 56-44. To the south side, Minneapolis Washburn versus Southwest. Set the pace early. Players have heard that from coaches over and over. Heston Anderson overcame a bobble and indeed set the pace with an 86-yard opening kick touchdown. Washburn defeats Minneapolis Southwest 17-0 to advance in 5A. Litchfield versus Albany. Dragons lead by 10 in the third quarter, but that lead was in jeopardy with Albany driving. On first and goal, Jaron Prevo would get the forced fumble, then pick the ball up and run 92 yards to the house. Litchfield wins 23-6, and they'll meet a nearby neighbor at state this week. Holy Family Catholic versus Jordan. Down by 8 before halftime, Holy Family QB Ethan Ryan gets a nice pickup block from Zachary Sevchik, who gives him time to find Max Simpson downfield for a 29-yard TD. The Fire would go on to defeat Jordan 43-29. St. Thomas Academy versus Two Rivers. Early in the first quarter, the Cadets take control. Todd Rogalski telegraphs this pass for the 66-yard pick six. Cadets stay undefeated at 10-0 and win 32-19 over Two Rivers. Let's take a look at the state tournament bracket starting in Class 6A. It's Eden Prairie versus Edina in the Lake Conference Showdown. Centennial faces Moorhead in Round 1. Maple Grove versus Lakeville South in a great game on Friday night. And Minnetonka gets St. Michael Albertville. In Class 5A, all these games are Saturday this week. Elk River versus Minneapolis Washburn. Alexandria gets Spring Lake Park. St. Thomas Academy versus Rochester Mayo. And it's Chanhassen and Cretin-Durham Hall. In Class 4A, all these games are Thursday. Grand Rapids versus Benilde St. Margaret's. It's Fergus Falls and Orono squaring off. Marshall faces Totino Grace, and Casson Manorville gets Hill Murray. And in Class 3A, Annandale versus Litchfield. Piers gets Dilworthland and Felton. Waseca battles Holy Family Catholic, and it's Pine Island squaring off against Minneapolis North. We'll hit the rest in just a moment.
For a generation, the Section 1 championship in 9-player football ran through Grand Meadow or Spring Grove. But there's a new kid in town, a Cougar, one that we haven't seen at state in 44 years.
Mabel Canton versus Spring Grove, a close game in Austin. Spring Grove driving, down by 16, under pressure. Dylan Halverson overthrows Sam Klug, and Cale Eichen makes him pay. Eichen with a pick to seal the 16-0 win. And Mabel Canton is off to state for the first time since 1981. Fillmore Central versus Lewis and Altura. Late in the third quarter, with a 4-point lead, Fillmore Central driving. QB Bryden Ball takes the high snap and runs it himself for a 1-yard touchdown. The Falcons take the Section 1A championship 34-21. Red Rock Central versus Wabasso. In the fourth quarter, down by 3. Red Rock knew who had to get the rock. Carter Thurkelson. The 10-yard run was Thurkelson's 4th TD of the game, and it was also the game winner as Red Rock Central wins 26-21. Moose Lake Willow River versus Aitkin. Rebels on offense looking to add to their lead in the second quarter. Parker Samarzia takes the handoff and marches 77 yards downfield for the score. He would have 2 touchdowns in the Rebels' 28-0 win over Aiken. Eden Valley Watkins versus St. Cloud Cathedral. Blake Glenn's pitching it to LaMichael Artis, who runs 17 yards to give the Eagles a 2-score lead. They go on to win 28-14 to advance to state. They're in Class 2A as we take a look at their bracket. They get Moose Lake Willow River in round 1. Holding Ford versus Barnesville. It's Jackson County Central taking on Caledonia. And Goodhue versus Waterville Legion Morristown. The Class 1A brackets look like this. Breckenridge versus Barnum. Monoman Waban takes on Upsala Swanville. Minnesota versus Lester Prairie. And Fillmore Central gets Murray County Central. And finally in 9-player, Kitson County Central versus Cook County. Fertile Beltrami draws Cromwell Wright. Hills Beaver Creek versus Red Rock Central. And Hillcrest Lutheran takes on Mabel Canton.
Football starts their state tournament this week while soccer just finished theirs. The championships landed on Halloween Day with plenty of tricks and treats.
Girls Class 3A Championship, Stillwater versus Wayzata. Tied at 2 in the second half. Stillwater looked to their 2025 Ms. Soccer Minnesota finalist Riley Lawrence for leadership, and she delivered with the game winner. From the right side of the field to the left side of the net, Stillwater gets their 4th girls soccer championship with a 3-2 win over defending champ Wayzata.
I went and the girls followed me and I just saw the shot and I hit it. And I don't really know how it went in, but I hit it and must have landed on my shooting foot.
Boys Class 3A Finals. Edina versus Maple Grove. Scoreless in the first half, Edina made Maple Grove pay for a passive clear, and defender Hayden Smith found the back of the net with a quick strike to score the game's only goal. Edina notches their 5th boys soccer championship and their 211th team title overall, if you're counting. Put it in the books with a 1-0 win over the Crimson.
Reed coming from the side, it was a bit of a long throw, kind of went over my head, bounced, and then their defender kind of came across and hit it kind of wrong, and then I was just there and I hit it in.
Girls Class 2A Finals, Matamidi versus Blake. Several of the championships this year were due to adjustments made at halftime. After nearly 65 minutes of defensive soccer, Zephyr Elisa Flackby lifted her team up with the game's only goal. That's back-to-back state titles for the Matamidi girls, a staggering 6 championships in 9 years, and their 12th overall. Matamidi over Blake, 1-0.
I just knew I needed to get a shot off. It was kind of like a toe ball, but, you know, if it works, it works.
Class 2A Boys Championship. Blake in this one as well versus St. Paul Como Park. Just under 3 minutes after teammate Mac Besmer scored an insurance goal, Oliver Brown put the championship on ice with his 2nd goal of the game and 2nd score assisted by Mr. Soccer finalist Landon Bell. The Bears win their 3rd boys soccer championship and 1st since 2018 as Blake takes this one 3-0 over St. Paul Como Park.
And Landon Bell assisted me. It was a beautiful, I thought he was going to shoot it, but he was super composed. He backheeled it to me, and to be honest, it was a pretty easy shot. I could just put it anywhere in 6-foot radius and put it in the back of the net. It would have been a goal.
Class 1A Girls Championship, Providence Academy versus Watertown Mare. The Lions were stunned early on with a Royal goal, but settled thanks in part to the stellar play by captain and 2025 Ms. Soccer winner, Madden Greenway. She tied the game in the first half and won it with a goal in the second, both assisted by her sister Beckett. 2-1 Providence Academy, back-to-back championships for the Lions, the only 2 girls soccer titles in school history.
The second half we completely owned it in my opinion, I think especially at the beginning, and for us it was huge. First 5 minutes is always like what we preach, so it wasn't in the first 5 minutes, but we knew if we broke them down it would eventually happen.
And we finish with 1A Boys, Holy Angels versus St. Cloud Cathedral. Nice passing by Holy Angels to get a score. Aaron Biniam goes top right corner for the 2nd goal of the game. The Stars would put the most goals on the board of any team in the 2025 championships, and they would need all of them as they defeat St. Cloud Cathedral 4-2. Back-to-back titles for the Stars, last year in 2A, this year in 1A.
We wanted to get up early. We knew it would give the team a confidence boost. We practiced that throw-in play this morning, this afternoon, and earlier in practice, and it was a great morale boost, and it led us going forward for those more goals.
It's trivia time. Who is the only 5-time champion in Minnesota cross country? The answer, plus a look at the state meet and volleyball highlights when we return.
New journey.
Division 3 straight to Division 1.
New energy. Same standard.
The Tommies have climbed to the peak of the summit.
And your Pioneer Football League champions wear purple and gray.
No limits. Welcome to St. Thomas Athletics.
Support your teams and community with NSPN.TV. Enjoy exclusive coverage from Summer Town Ball to high school championships. Plus, feature stories and podcasts that bring you closer to the action. Stay connected with NSPN.TV, your neighborhood sports network.
Welcome back to the NSPN Prep Update. I'm Ryan Phelps. Our trivia question: who is the only 5-time champion in Minnesota cross country? The answer: Carrie Tollefson from Dawson-Boyd-Lacapora Valley. Her daughter ran this weekend at state. Behind her is Maria Hauger of Shakopee with 4 gold medals.
Les Bolstad Golf Course has been the site for state cross country the past few seasons, but the league is shopping for a new home as the course is likely being sold. If it was the last run, it was a good one.
Class 1A boys, a bit of a mixed bag for the Cotter boys cross country team. Sophomore Eric Semling wins his 2nd straight Class 1A championship with a time of 15 minutes 19 seconds. Cotter would have the top 3 finishers individually, but Lewiston Altura, Rushford, Peterson, Houston would win the team title with 67 points.
The first half of the course is kind of an easier part of the course, and the second half is the harder part of the course. So when you're getting tired, you're getting tired, and the course is harder. So I felt it was pretty hard the second half, but you just got to push through, and that's what I did.
Class 1A girls. St. John's prep runner Margaret Duffy was the only A girl to finish the race in under 18 minutes, besting the defending state champion Audrey Brownell of Staples Motley. On the team side, New London Spicer tied St. Cloud Cathedral with 97 points, but had a higher individual finisher, so the Wildcats are your Class 1A girls team champions.
It was good. I'm really grateful for the competition, and I love just racing with other people and getting out there and doing what I love. It was great.
Class 2A boys. St. Paul Como Park's Charlie Loth and Casamanerville's David Obst were close near the end of the race, but Obst falls. Loth crosses the finish line at 15:31. Obst would finish 4th. Loth's win would help propel the Cougars to the team title for Class 2A as well.
When I went out at the start and I was in 1st, and for a while, all the way up until the 1K, I didn't really see anyone around me, and I was a little worried I'd gone out too fast. But then I just felt incredible. Nothing was hurting. My legs felt amazing, and just throughout the whole race, I felt great. And I knew I had it on that last hill, that uphill at the 4K. I knew I had it then.
Class 2A girls. Kira Friedrich of St. Peter had some distance from the pack as she got to the home stretch. Friedrich bested the field by 19 seconds to win the individual title. For the team, Minneapolis Southwest had 38 points, winning by 14.
It was kind of like to not go out too fast. I know this course can kind of bite you in the butt, I guess, if you go too fast. So kind of conserve energy and then just see where I was at and try and kick it in as best I could.
Class 3A boys. Minnetonka's Sean Fries was the only boys runner in any class at the championship with a sub 15-minute time. Fries got to the finish line in 14:50, winning by 34 seconds. Blaine would win the team title with 77 points, the only 3A boys team with less than 100.
State championships are always special. You can never take them for granted. So that was always kind of my biggest goal of the season was, and kind of most important to me was getting this championship. So obviously it's something that I'll remember for a long time, and it'll be extra special for me for a very long time.
And Class 3A girls. Maddie Gullickson of Wayzata was a little over a minute faster than any girl in any class at the state championship this year. Gullickson's time of 16:54 was a personal best, 17 seconds faster than she had ever run the 5,000-meter course. Wayzata was also the team champion with a staggering score of 27 points. St. Michael Albertville was second with 93.
Cross country is just such a special thing because you're out here with your team, you're running for something bigger than yourself. So it's super special to be able to come out here and win individually and as a team. And when I saw the time when I crossed the line, I was super happy. Just like going sub 17 too was super special.
White Bear Lake High School sits just a few miles north of St. Paul, but for one student, the commute was nearly 5,000 miles. Mike Peden has more.
I had no idea who she was, and it was kind of like this gift just fell into our lap in a sense.
Technically speaking, Martina flew in from her home country of Italy as a foreign exchange student. She got on board with the idea through an electronic word of mouth.
I started watching videos of other exchange students that maybe I saw online, and I really like it. And I was thinking, oh wow, maybe one day I can do this experience. I had to do a lot of documents, application, where you wrote about yourself.
She has a great eye for the court and knows where to put the ball and where to put it, when's the right time to fully swing or roll shot.
Martina's many years of club volleyball vaulted her credentials when she came to Minnesota. But like most stateside athletes, she had to bump aside a few nerves during tryouts.
Doing the tryouts, I was excited but also scared because if I maybe didn't make the team, I really didn't know what to do because volleyball was the first thing that I wanted to do here.
As you might have guessed, Martina made the team, and her new teammates sought to make her feel at home.
I remember that when I was waiting for do an exercise, all the seniors came to me and say, oh hi, you're the exchange student from Italy, and I was like, yeah, and they were so kind.
When we played, we weren't very included by the upperclassmen, so this year we really wanted to make sure that that happened in our program and on our teams.
It's taught me to always be inclusive towards other people and to make sure that everyone feels welcomed, because if I was in their shoes at a different country that I didn't know, I would want people to include me and be nice.
Whatever happens, Martina and her fellow Bears are forever united in spirit and sweetness.
She's just the sweetest soul. I'm so grateful that she's on our team. She's just a really great person overall.
In White Bear Lake, I'm Mike Peden for NSPN.
There's still one more segment left on the Prep Update. When we return, section final volleyball, plus a school snapshot that will have you reaching for the stars.
There's a new destination for all things Minnesota high school sports. It's called Strib Varsity. It's from the Minnesota Star Tribune, so you know it's trusted. With a deep bench to cover all of Minnesota. We've rebuilt and relaunched our MM Prep hubs and added more sports, stories, streams, stats, scores, schedules. We have it all at Strib Varsity. Subscribe today at startribune.com/stribvarsity.
Ask around. The most underrated state tournament in Minnesota might be volleyball. The arena is rocking, the fans are crazy, and the athletes, well, they're among the best in the country.
Big Lake versus Zimmerman, a close match in 5-3A, tied at 2, Big Lake with a match point on the road. After a return of serve, Ashley Fitzgibbon sets up Madison Reed for the kill, and the Hornets win 3-2 to go to the state tournament for the first time in school history. Cleveland versus Buffalo Lake Hector Stewart. How could you possibly make the match sending you to your first state tournament even more historic? How about coming back from 2 sets down? Taylor McCabe, who had 36 kills in the match, would not be blocked, and the Clippers would be on their way to taking the last 3 sets and earn their first ever section championship. Eastridge versus Egan. Down 2 sets to 1, the Raptors kept fighting, and the 7th-ranked team in the state fought to get match point against the 2nd-ranked team in the state. Savannah Hamilton would set up Stella Arlick for the match winner, sending Eastridge to their 2nd straight state appearance and 5th in school history. Albany versus Minnewaska. A lot of reasons to smile for Albany. The number 21 Huskies came into the match ranked a little higher than undefeated Minnewaska and maybe thought they had to prove why. Did they ever? Lillian Van Heel with the back set to Bryn Panic would ice the 3-1 win and send Albany to state for the 6th time and their 2nd straight state appearance. Roseville versus Stillwater. The old saying is, it's tough to beat a team 3 times in one season. Roseville, after losing to Suburban East champ Stillwater twice this year, hoped it was true. Sophia Golson-Johnson would get the kill and the Raiders sweep Stillwater 3-0 to get the 4-4A crown and their 10th trip to state. Chatfield versus Caledonia. Last year, Chatfield earned their first 1AA championship. The year before, it was Caledonia who represented 1AA at state. You can tell from this point that both teams wanted the trip back to St. Paul. After a long rally, it was Cora Bickness with the kill that could not be blocked. The Gophers get the 3-1 win and their 2nd straight and 2nd ever state appearance. Here's what their brackets look like, starting with the first matchups on Wednesday. Class 4A. Lakeville South faces Sartell, and Roseville versus Rogers at 1 o'clock. GC Arena, that's Grand Casino Arena. It's what you would call the XL Energy Center. It's got a new name. Next up, Eastridge versus Apple Valley, and Prior Lake takes on Centennial. In Class 3A, Marshall faces Big Lake, Sauk Rapids Rice versus Creighton-Durham Hall. It's Benilde St. Margaret's taking on Grand Rapids, and Stewartville draws Matamidi. Those are all on Wednesday night. Class 2A takes over on Thursday. Defending champ Hawley gets Newland and Spicer. Southwest Christian versus New Life Academy. It's Albany taking on newcomer Howard Lake Waverly Winstead, and Chatfield gets Esco. We finish up on Thursday with Class 1A. Last year's winner Mare Lutheran takes on Northwoods. It's Belgrade Bruton El Rosa versus Cleveland. Russell Tyler Ruthven takes on Nevis, and Fillmore Central battles Ada Borup West.
It's time for our school snapshot. That's when we get to know the towns and communities outside the playing field. Today, we take you to a school with a curriculum that's out of this world. "80 miles south of the Twin Cities, you'll find Mankato East, which first opened its doors in 1973. They've always been a school of high hopes, and while expectations are high on the playing field, their classroom is out of this world, as they are one of only a handful of schools on the planet with a planetarium. Their students learn about astronomy. In fact, many districts do, as they host field trips at Mankato East throughout the year. And if that doesn't make you green with envy, they also have their own greenhouse, made for their agricultural classes. And grades are on the rise in recent years, as they've sharpened their academic standards. Graduation rates for the 1,290 students are now above 90%, and they're an award-winning school in their support of students' emotional, behavioral, and academic needs. AP courses, concurrent courses to receive college credits, and student voice is important. The school is listening. Principal Akram Osman.
I believe they really enjoy their experience here. We pride ourselves in really paying attention to 3 important things, which being on time to school, on time to classes, on task, meaning putting the distractions away, the cell phones and the headphones and all of that, and then also getting in grades that are C or better. So we have just set that expectation for our students and really have risen to that.
Their activities and fine arts have also been trending positive, excelling in band, choir, and theater. And their sports, well, let's just say Cougar Pride is at an all-time high. As they say, we are Mankato East High School.
That'll do it for this episode of the all-new NSPN Prep Update. We'll be back with more next week. For Hannah, JB, Mike, and the rest of the NSPN crew, I'm Ryan Phelps saying so long from the Neighborhood Sports Network.